Alright, we're just waiting a little bit for the co-host of this evening to be ready. Still feeling a little under the weather, but he thinks he can last a good amount of time. Yeah, we've got a delightful mix of creatures and magic items today, along with a couple of candy-themed spells, as per the problem and solution suggestion in the Discord. Which, while we're waiting here, I'll do the just typical PNG tuber thing. It's just like, hey, let's just link that Discord right here. Like I've gone pro. Nope, don't need to do that right now, but thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week. If it was not for the game tomorrow night, I would probably be doing a just quick stream of testing some alert options. Like I said in the Discord, while I have earned the ability to become affiliate and get all the cool channel points like that, sadly, I do not want all my stuff, as shoddy as it might be, just owned outright by Twitch, considering I'm not even trying to make money doing this. However, I have found some bots and widgets to replicate the loyalty point process, which I can actually test one thing out right now. Let's see, I think it's Aha. So yeah, I decided to name them indulgences because I thought if my persona is going to be low-key heretic like that, might as well go full on. Let's see, I know there's a way to give some to everyone who's currently in chat. Just need to find which of these tabs here. Just starts low with 13. And it's going to take a little bit to activate, but it seems that no clue's already been in chat long enough to get some of his. Yeah. As soon as I get that integrated, I'll have some fun just sound alerts. So, do I have a way to share this? I think so. I mean, just since we're waiting anyway. Let's see my folder of all the sounds. Oh, wrong folder for sounds. Where's the fun one I made? Thanks, here it is. I did a little bit of editing just to have fun with it. I gotta find, let's see, I need to add audio from a specific capture. Oh, hey. Hey, it seems our guest is here, so I'll go ahead and just go over to the channel where all y'all can hear him too. Yeah, I forgot to ask while you went to your last minute prep, how would you like me to refer to you on screen? Because I know we've got Busky going by that name, and here you're no clue what I do on Twitch, right?
Of course you would. Just refer to me however you want. Like you,
Okay.
that guy, no clue,
I'm gonna go
bitch.
full on Cluedo, because you're definitely not American. We call it Clue here. Yeah,
Mm,
I was just telling the two of the party who are currently in chat that I found a way to do channel point stuff without being affiliate. I'm still working on it, but you guys should be passively earning points in the background. I was just gonna do a quick little
mm.
preview of one of the sounds I have made up. We'll just call it Windows for this audio thing. Let's see, where is window need to be? Media player, there it is. I'm sure most of you guys will be able to recognize this. It is a very classic sound mixed with two not so classic. I call it Fall from Grace. See, were you able to hear that,
Ouch.
Cluedo?
That sounded painful.
I think it'd be very fun to make that just like once per person per stream, because I know there is a streamer who set up a channel redeem like that, where it keeps track of how many times you've activated it. So it's kind of like a low key, how many times have I been with this streamer? And I think just a cacophony of just the Wilhelm is kind of funny. Just like, yes, everyone, fall from grace with me. Yeah, a bit more on topic for the theme we're going with Spooktober. I thought, I absolutely surprised Busky with his. I thought I'd surprise you with it. Opening topic: creating tension in a D&D game, or I guess any role-playing game.
Oh, yeah, it's that simple enough that you barely need to do anything. Honestly, 80% of the work comes from the side of the players overthinking everything.
Oh, true, true, but I mean, it's no fun if you can't direct it in some way, right? Uh,
Mm.
Yeah, I thought one good example, what I've kind of done with you guys in that last session. We won't get too in depth to which specific player. But yeah, one way is I recently, at least intentionally, try to create some tension with the group with the time loop murder mystery. Specifically, just you guys, pun unintended, out of the loop with this kind of crazy and off kilter archfey. He's like, I'm sorry, but do I know you? And only one of you asks, like, do we know him? Have we met him before? And just a little wisdom save, which pretty much earlier in the campaign, multiple times have been against just charming spells or enchantment. Gios, one case. So just this
Yeah,
entire campaign, I've built up just wisdom saves are bad.
yeah. You see, it's just I was going to ask that, but then the more I thought about it, the more I realized my character wants nothing to do with that party. He just wants to get through it as soon as possible. So I just held back. It's like this archfey is going through something personal. It's none of my business. Let's just move on.
Yeah, and then there are other things. What's the other big methods? I've seen a lot of people do artificial timers. These would be like your prophecies. It's like you've got so many in-game days, and no one at the table really keeps track of days and what's get done on a day-to-day basis. It's a good way to just add tension that you just kind of retcon if you have to. I mean, it's a game. You gotta have fun.
Ooh.
Yeah,
To
it's
anyone watching this, by the way, it's not COVID. Don't worry, I got tested. It's just a really bad flu.
I should hope so. But we still want you there tomorrow night. It's the
Hmm.
probably last part of this murder mystery. Yeah, like I said before, if it gets worse or gets to be too much, there's no harm, no foul, and just stepping out. Health comes first.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is just slightly below my baseline level of uncomfortable. It's
That's a healthy statement to make.
it's fine. It's fine. Look, I I am as well adjusted as my characters.
That's a horrible example. You have some really fucked up characters.
I have great characters. Thank you very
Oh, they
much.
are great characters. They are not mentally healthy characters. It's like
Agree to disagree.
the first campaign, we had that Asmar, whose mother was pretty much an evangelist who wanted you to be the next, maybe not the next Jesus, but definitely the next prophet of sorts. Uh, this campaign where the character has I mean, so many things that just kind of stem from the stereotypical daddy issues. They're definitely more serious than the phrase is typically used for, but still, they are daddy issues.
I mean, who hasn't committed patricide every now?
Most people. That's kind of how society works. Most people do not kill each other.
Meh. But hey, I'm learning my lesson. Next campaign, no parents, no family, no origins at all. There's nothing to be hung up on.
Yeah, because that's not a just a playground you're handing over to the DM. Oh, no known parents, no known family, no known background.
Totally fine.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be
Besides,
fine.
don't tell me you're not enjoying it.
Oh, I absolutely enjoy it. It's just I'm all about informed consent. It's like you need to know I am gonna fuck them up horrifically. They just don't
You
know
wouldn't
yet.
do that to the cinnamon roll. They're gonna be a good boy. Good amorphic sentient cloud space dust.
Uh, yeah, actually, speaking of horrific segues, I do have a selection of candy spells right here. The Calli's Corrupted Candies. The ones they all just go ahead and quickly get out of the way for this one. Not a big fan of the AI generated art here, but some people feel that homebrew like this needs fancy background like that or art. And for putting out for free, I'm not going to question it too much. At the very least, they're not charging for it. Yeah, it's three very fun spells: cantrip, third level, and a fifth level. So let's just go ahead and start in terms of a power level. We've got a Calli's Drenching Treacle, 30 feet, very typical for a ranged cantrip. One target within range must succeed on a dexterity save or risks taking a 1d6 necrotic, as well as reducing their movement by 10 feet. Which is, I'm pretty sure there's another cantrip that does that too, so, minor reflavor, just changing the damage type. It's not horrible.
Ray of Frost.
Yeah. It's not bad. For just a candy themed thing, for cantrip, it doesn't matter too much. Especially because I think it might have just dropped. I think Sorcerer would have had Ray of Frost. Definitely Wizard. Nice, fun, simple, and to the point. And then we get up to the actual rotting one, the Rotting Gobstopper. Third level, still 30 feet. It lasts a minute. You're creating tendrils just foul, rotten energy, lashing forth from your fingertips as you just literally give a cavity to someone, forcing their jaw to hang open. Ranged spell attack, as you do, for 3d10 necrotic, then a con save to avoid being silenced for that minute. Let's see. The one thing I would say about this is it should definitely be a concentration. Maybe they just
Yeah,
forgot to mark that, but it's like, if you're gonna silence a caster, you can't do that to multiple targets at once. Let's see. Well, I actually didn't notice this the first time. I read it. The target can breathe underwater for half as long as normal. Very niche ability, but add some flavor. Then, finally, big science word that I'm gonna mangle. Calli's iotrophobic. Yeah, iotrophobic, I think. She's got a very fun flavor in the material component. An apple and a skull from a creature that has risen from the dead. And it creates a barrel of caramel-coated apples to rain on a spot within 60 feet, battering all those within the downpour. 30-foot cylinder, which I think is supposed to be diameter, right? There aren't a whole lot of cylinder spells. Yeah, a lot of area for 5d8 bludgeoning, or half on a successful dex save. And duration of the spell, any creature who failed is unable to be healed by anything, by any spell less than a 6th level or higher spell slot.
Uh,
Which seems a lot for a 5th level. It's maybe like
yeah.
half that, maybe, just because it's already doing damage to such a big area. It's an interesting flavor, right?
It is interesting. I've noticed all of these not big on damage, which fair enough. I mean, there are enough spells out there to deal a shit tons of damage. It's more focused on the debuffs more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It I am kind of surprised none of these are concentrations, though. I mean, silenced for a full minute if they fail is just a death sentence to any spellcaster.
Yeah, it's like pretty much unless you're a sorcerer with meta magic to get around that, it's a bit much.
Yeah, and scroll down a little bit. It says can't be healed by anything other than a sixth level or higher healing spell. Does that mean it's supposed to stop things like healing potions too, or other forms of healing like lay on hands?
I assume so, because it says anything other. So I think as a DM, I would rule if I allowed this as it was, at minimum, like potions are still okay, because those are expensive.
Yeah.
That's gold you're losing permanently, not a spell slot you'll get back on a rest.
Yeah, imagine if you just pull this on a player and it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this bottle of Supreme Healing. Oh, bad news, buddy.
Yeah, especially because they don't get another save for the silence. Just the one off. It's a lot. It should definitely be at least one or the other. Personally, I lean towards a concentration for these effects because, I mean, you're going to be targeting this person anyway, but dropping off this iatrophobic apple and then getting the fuck out of dodge while the minions beat your ass, it should be how a boss tries to use that spell. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting flavors. Definitely need some editing before use in a campaign, but for a candy based spell, just leaning into like the dangerous candy is a fun way to swing it for a one shot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have to look that up. Iatrophobic. Iatrophobic.
I assume it's got to be something like maybe not wanting to take medicine, maybe.
Oh, okay. Iatrophobia, extreme fear of doctors or medical tests.
Yeah, maybe a bit complex of a word for a kind of jokey spell, but at least it fit. It wasn't random Latin just slammed together.
Fair enough. I hmm, the choice of classes is interesting. I could see warlocks taking this for sure. Bards, if they want to be on the more sinister side, but cleric,
I mean, that might be there for it's the death domain cleric that's in the DMG, right? The suggested for NPCs domain. I mean, I can see it if they're doing it like that, but also, what deity would say, "Oh, you seem like you need these sorts of spells. Have at you."
yeah, it's there's so many domains for clerics that you can honestly flavor it however you want. But if this is open to all clerics, it's like I worship Helio, god of the sun, and you just throw a frosted apple at
Yeah,
someone.
it's like never see a doctor again. It's like no, my one weakness. Once it, oh wait, Lonnie, you were in a large and you were once attacked by little Debbie brownies. It's like they were thrown at you, or someone was like their character was the old school comic ads where there's a superhero just throwing pastries at people. Okay, it's a little less funny than the idea I had in my head, but what a delicious way to go. It's like, oh, I'm dead. Excuse me as I eat the things that killed me.
But yeah, I also assume that the low amount of damage is supposed to indicate that yes, this can kill someone, but it's more intended to fuck with people more than anything. Which, fair enough for a Halloween themed spell.
Yeah, I definitely think that a missed opportunity for at least well, maybe the drenching treacle too, but also the rotting gobstopper for the artificer. Because if any of the classes were to get a food-themed subclass, I would assume Artificer because they're the whole getting crafting sets just as part of their base class.
True enough. True enough.
Yeah, so moving on from here, my wonderful co-host Cluedo, I got two options for you. We can go to some of the just creepy, cursed-looking items that I saw, or we can go to the one-shot that I kind of based all these other items on, like as the core element.
Dealer's choice. I don't mind either.
All right, then we'll go ahead and start with this one-shot. Tooze's Fearsome Foes. It is an encounter called the Mimic Tower. It is a pay-to-play kind of just one-shot. It works as just a random encounter, or it could be the central element of a Halloween one-shot. He definitely has enough work in it for the latter. There's not actually a whole lot in it, which is actually very good in my opinion, because that means you can modify it as you will to fit the levels of your players, whatever they might need. But I personally like the idea of just making it bigger than as he presents it. I think it's supposed to be like level 3 to 5 suggested. Like the tower is big, but you can only attack the core to kill it. The core only has so much health, but it also has legendary resistances and actions, so you can still put up quite a fight with it.
Oh, is this supposed to be on play on the haunted house where the furniture tries to kill you, but it's actually just a living house?
Yes, and that's one of the reasons it's not a. I don't suggest it as a strict play it as he presents it, because you can really mix up the variety of the items. See, there are only 2 stat blocks, which is the tower's core itself, which, as suggested, is in the top, but also a mini mimic, which I think has higher AC than a normal one, but less HP. So it still has a chance to survive, but if you hit it, it's probably dead if you're in the 3 to 5 level range. Yeah, just like as a base thing, I could see this being used as the final bosses, like just reworking instead of a tower, maybe a whole base or fortress. And until you take out that core, it's got all these just legendary actions once around is hitting you with. Or a haunted location. Instead of mimics, you toss in animated armors, animated, I think they're wands, right? In the base 5e. Just make it more
Animated
haunted
wall.
house. Yeah, make it more haunted house-like than everything's coming alive.
I don't know about. I know. I think there are living spells. I think that's a stat block that might be interesting for these.
I saw living sounds too. I can't remember what it's from. Is that a specific setting?
Is it? Can't remember. Oh wait, no, Ebron. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Okay. Ebron makes sense. I mean, Ebron had a lot of good stuff that it should not be restricted just to Ebron. It's just too good.
Lost that.
Amongst other things, yes. Yeah, all the mark of races seem like they should just be the new way they do some subclasses. Sorry, not subclass, sub races, especially for races that don't have sub races already. But there are 2 items that come with this. And while I can't show the final versions that are in this supplement, which is only like $5 on the Ko-fi if anyone wants it for Halloween, the public versions they shared on Reddit, there's a changing armor and a mimic adhesive. We're going to start with this because it seems like a weaker version of Sovereign Glue, and I know Problem Solution really wants a pack of that.
Mimic adhesive.
Mimics aren't just valuable for their accessorizing capabilities, you know? This unassuming jar of viscous purple goop is their ace in the hole. A powerful adhesive, typically secreted by the beasts to trap their hapless prey. It's rather foul stuff, hence why the jars are sealed so tightly. I'd rather you not ask how I acquired it in such quantity. Some things are below the likes of the maestro to divulge. Yeah, other than looking like, what was the enemy of the one live action, not live action, United States Power Rangers movie they made, the Ooze, or whatever he called himself. It's, actually, Michael, did you ever see that? I know you're in another country, so you might have missed that Power Rangers thing, if at all.
Oh, I have no idea what Power Rangers are besides people in costumes.
Ivan Ooze, yeah, that was interesting. It's, I mean, it's pretty much that. I would think, like, I mean, decades ago, but the Japanese take on superheroes, kinda. Like, definitely oversimplification, but every episode there's a villain, and then the end villain is just monster kaiju sized for a big final battle. And for the movie made in the States, Ivan Ooze was the enemy, and he gained power by making these mini jars of ooze, spread it out like kids' toys, and at the end of the movie, when he got big, he just kind of reabsorbed them all. Just weird, but you know, that's both Power Ranger
Huh.
stuff, actually. Yeah, that nostalgia aside, unlike Sovereign Glue, which has to stay connected for a full minute, this one, the Mimic adhesive, you can put on the floor, and if it's stepped on, it can set then. So it can be used as a trap.
Okay, so it's not super glue where you have to keep it stuck together. It's more like just it's like a fly trap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the real magical part is that if it is there for a minute before someone steps on it, it will blend into the surface. So you put on cobblestone, it'll look like cobblestones. Tar from Home Alone? I mean, I think that actually worked kind of like real tar, maybe a bit quicker. But yeah, the tar trap works too. Yeah, it's only uncommon because it's DC 13, but I know one thing at least 5th edition is missing is being able to create your own traps without having to homebrew some part of the mechanic. You know, here's an easy glue trap for anyone who wants them.
Huh. I'm actually thinking about other uses besides trap. Like, well, what if you have just a powerful or important MacGuffin that you really don't want off your person?
I mean, there's that too. It's it seems a bit extreme to just full on glue it to yourself so someone can't steal it in the night.
I'm thinking more than like the heat of battle. It spells like telekinesis or just disarming someone a la fighters.
That's fair. Though for the fighters, I mean, come on, just multi-class into warlock.
Yeah, no, warlocks already are powerful enough as a dip. You don't no need to no need to give them more incentive. You know how I feel about warlocks.
I mean, yeah, you only had to play in the same party as one for, well, pretty much since we started together.
Sorry, you know how Derek feels about warlocks.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that particular warlock got better over time. Kinda.
Did they? Did they? Arguably, they got worse.
It, depends on which version of them. Because one definitely got worse. He became a side boss.
Mm.
I mean, I was worried there that I just set off a coughing fit with just the laugh of calling Jasper a side boss.
Not even a main boss, which, no, that fits. Knowing Jasper, just built like he's meant for the spotlight, never getting it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little on me. Because you guys came in on a 7th or 8th level. And it is really hard to make a good character build for a party you don't actually know at that level.
No, no. I came in full swinging with a Unearthed Arcana class, which devolved into a whole lore dump that still is unresolved to this day.
Yeah, but that's what Campaign 3 is for. The future.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that nostalgia side. We also have the Mimic armor. And for anyone interested, the Mimic Tower supplement does have suggestions for letting your players craft these instead of just finding them, which is another fun thing.
Oh, that looks unpleasant.
Yeah, the art in the supplement's actually better. It looks more like a duster or like a long coat. This just looks uncomfortable with teeth instead of a zipper.
I don't like the idea of it knowing what it feels like to be around my torso.
But you know, absolutely ideal for a female character, kinda. If anyone's just leering at you a little too closer, at least you can rest assured that your shirt is leering right back.
Ugh, jeez. What does it do besides look unpleasant? A strangely organic looking piece of armor is warm to the touch. Ugh. Seems to be subtly shifting as if moving in place. Okay. Ugh. You can use an action to shapeshift the armor into any kind of common or fine clothing and lose any bonus to AC that it provides as long as it remains in that form. As an item interaction, okay, great. It doesn't use up too much resource wise. You can return the armor to its original form. If the armor's magic is suppressed, it remains in the form it currently has and cannot change. Okay, so it's a shape shifting piece of clothing.
Yeah, I would say this one could probably stand to be, well, this version could stand to be common, because that's just a worse version of Glamour Weave, because the armor just
Yeah,
loses its AC when it becomes clothing.
and it's just it has a very specific aesthetic that you're just kind of stuck with.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, this is just an easy thing to just let your players get, because it's not powerful at all. But for those who want to be able
No.
to, like, borderline magical girl transform at a fancy dress party, why not? You know?
Hmm. I'm actually thinking, what about like a mimic common weapon? Just a sword that could turn into like uh God, my brain's on the fritz. A mace if you have to, or a pickaxe, or a hammer. Just just so you don't have to lug around all the weapons you need. Not terribly powerful, but hey, if you need to slash one day and then just bludgeon another.
Yeah, nice magic item to replace the, I guess the Hexblade version of Hack the Blade.
Oh yeah, hexblades can do that. I never understood what the deal is with hexblades. Their weapon is their patron, or no, their weapon gives the
Uh,
patron. Or hmm. Wow.
I think
The
that
taking gives me.
I think that detail is just depends on the story, but the core is that the weapon itself is important to your patron, the deal, or what have you. I mean,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
right for any. It's like, oh, I found a sentient magic item 2 sessions back. Well, time to become a warlock. Just
Oh wait, no. What? King Arthur would absolutely have been at least a dip and the Hexblade Warlock with Excalibur. Now they have to.
yeah, probably. At least from the secondhand stories, because I've certainly not read the originals. He comes off as a charismatic leader.
Charismatic, not muscular, or in any of the descriptions I've heard. I I don't know why. Whenever I think of King Arthur, I think, eh, I don't know, gives me twink vibes.
Twink vibes from King Arthur. Not the description I would have thought. If only because I assume anyone wearing armor would be more of a strength build than a dex.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised about like knights using dex. I'd be more surprised if just, calling King Arthur a twink. I mean,
I'm here to make statements and form opinions.
and you are just out of it enough that you're not gonna have to regret it till later, if at all.
Mm. That was Merlin. No, 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 no. Merlin was.
I mean,
You know, no.
in
Actually,
that
you know what?
one
I'm.
show, I will grant you. I think the show
Oh,
was
that.
just Merlin, right?
Oh, the show named Merlin. That.
Yeah, I could see that Merlin being a twink. He was skinny as a rail.
Yeah. No. If anything, Merlin, like, the actual Sage Merlin, I think more as a. You know what? I'm not gonna stop myself before I actually say something that might get monetized.
I was about to say it's like I can just change the label for this stream. I'm like, nah, let's not encourage you in your current state.
No.
Though
No.
actually, that is a good segue to another one of DM Tuzo's. I think that's how he wants to pronounce DM Tuzo's other works, because he has a good many of these particular races, monster girl races. The
Mhm.
What I find the funniest is when he's advertising these on the subreddits. He has these like fake censor bars, like not safe for church, like too hot for Reddit. But there's nothing to censor. They are fully clothed under that. That's just how he advertises them, and I love him for it.
I am not going to question the anatomical relevance of breasts and snake people as non-mammals, but
You're
hey,
touching on
you
it
do you.
exactly. That's why I chose Lamia for this. They had cat girls. They have kobolds. They have a bovine race. I'm blanking on the name, but it is very much a pun. I know one of the censor bars on one of the cow ladies was huge tracts of land, which also ties into the Merlin conversation we just had.
Hmm.
But yeah, I figured, this particular monster race being more monster than humanoid be a fun addition to just toss it here, show off his other works. Oh, here it is, the Whole Star. That's what they're called. Yeah, they bounce boobily whenever they walk. Is what the flavor text of that race does.
Boobly. Oh, ooh.
I mean, of any race that would, that's probably one of them. Yeah, all the monster girls he makes, they have subclasses. Like this Lamia has a subrace. This subrace has Echidna, like the monstrous Echidna from Myth. Let's see, what does she have here? The bite, being able to attack someone you have grappled, and of course, natural armor, which I believe only the Echidna has with these subraces.
13 plus? That's not bad.
Now, what's a monk about? A little bit better, actually, right?
Yeah. Monks have 10 plus wisdom and dex, which, I mean, if their wisdom is less than 16, then yeah.
Yeah, I also especially got his version of a mage armor. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's mage armor, just naturally, no spell, no invocation for it.
Huh.
But
Neat.
I also especially got this Lamia because for several of his races, he's got racial feats, which I wish more people did. Just a little extra spice, just tie into your race or background.
Let's see. Prehensile tail. You've trained and perfected the use of your tail. It has become more than just an extension of your body, but a limb in its own right. I mean, it was that to begin with, but let's see. You can use your tail for complex tasks such as using tools, items, and weapons. Can lift and carry objects up to 20 pounds. Okay. Can wield any melee weapons that don't have the two-handed property. Don't have the two-handed property. All right. Can use an action or bonus action on your turn to make a single weapon attack with it. Bonus action on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Can use your tail as a somatic spell component and use it to make a melee spell attack when a spell requires it.
So
Okay, I mean, yeah, fair enough. Snakes are more, I mean, mostly tail, let's be honest.
yeah, that feat is pretty much a little mix of. Well, it's a mix of one and a half. You're getting some of the, I think it's Warcaster, where you can have a shield but still do somatic components. But also low key, just extra attack feature for anyone. Which is why this one I'd probably say like a level limit, maybe minimum level 4 before you can take it. Just you're not like
Yeah, if you're a campaign that starts off with free feats for everyone, which if you do that, good on you. You like your players.
mm-hmm.
Someone taking this, having 2 attacks at level 1 is a
It's not
really big
needed.
benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need that extra attack at level 1, the campaign's maybe a bit much. Let's see, and then
Oh.
Snake Tongue. Snakes are renowned for the unparalleled sense of taste. I was unfamiliar with that. Your
Oh
tongue's.
yeah, no, snakes sense through their. That's why they flick their tongues. They're literally tasting the air.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was a taste thing. It might be just elementary school science. I thought it was about easier to detect heat like that.
Mm. Let's see. You gain blind sight up to a range of 10 feet. That only really useful if you're melee, but fair enough. Let's see. You can communicate with serpine beasts and monsters. You get parcel tongue, and you have advantage on all perception checks that uses your taste.
So the last one's definitely ribbon ability, but it's fun. But also, there's a one use of the blind side of 10 feet. That's fucking invisible creatures. Allow me to rephrase. Fucking up invisible creatures. Yeah, it's a. Like I said, he's got a bunch of Monster Girl races. In fact, I think he also sells them as a pack of 3 or 4 of them for $10 instead of the usual 2 per race. But I mean, beautiful art, properly attributed. Love to see it.
That's not AI generated. There's always a plus.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. I had to pick and choose what I put because he has a lot of undead-looking foes, fiends, something called the God Hands, which are literally the disembodied hands of deities that are still powerful and a threat. And just like
Isn't that just a master plan from
more or less, yes. He's got some more
uh
flavor on him than just that, but it's like if anyone needs just threats for a very Halloween themed thing, he's got plenty to choose from. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good enough for him. So why don't we go to the other mimic themed thing we have today? The Mimicking suit. Now, if that last one made you feel uncomfortable, how about this one, Cluedo?
let's see. Why is the tongue there? Of all places.
Yeah, there's the tongue there. There's the impractical spike slash teeth at the waist, at the hips, at the frickin' neck.
You cannot be anything but just ramrod straight if you don't want to puncture yourself.
Yep. I'd say I do like the little details of looks like clasping hands here, keeping the pauldrons on, claw sash there. It's like those details are cool, but just as a whole, it's like, are you trying to kill yourself? Is that what you're trying to do here?
Is this a benefit or is this a trap armor?
Well, let's go ahead and show off the details. Exclusive, shiny, uncommon plus, which I think is just their internal rarity. Sometimes a bunch of mimics happen on the advantages of cooperation and form a colony, more formally called a mimicry. Such groups
Nice.
of mimics behave in strange ways, often emulating the behaviors of bigger organisms. In the case of the mimicking suit, this mimicry copies the trappings of a knight, posing as the armor of skeletons or dummies to just move around and prey on the unsuspecting. These days are gone, and the colony is mostly inert, able to be used as regular, though weird, armor. The actual details of the benefits it gives are patron exclusive, but it is a still living mimic. It just not trying to kill you, I suppose. At least the uncommon version.
This I don't know. It gives me Venom vibes. I'm gonna be honest. Just less goopy.
Hey, we got the gang's all here. Busky's arrived.
Ah,
If it
Busk.
ain't cursed, you couldn't give it to James. It's like I think you could give it to James anyway. I think you would prefer like a few things that aren't cursed, perhaps.
I promise I did not disparage you or your characters whatsoever.
Hey, here's a question, Busky. Were you here for the snake girl? Did you miss the Snitties comment? So we can just. I mean, it's not a hit against you. It's more of a just a. This is how DM2Zo advertises on subreddit. He puts false censorship bars. Which, I mean, if you're trying to get people to pay attention to your work, horny men and lesbians are probably a good demographic to shoot for. It's like, no hate against them, but, goddamn, $2 might just be enough for some cartoon booba. Yeah, back to the mimic the suit. Is there much left to say about this other than just overall bad idea? Unless this is your aesthetic.
I mean, just, I'm becoming symbiotic with any living thing that is just permanently on your body is generally a bad idea, but I'm also not any position to judge, seeing as my other character in another campaign literally injected molten metal into their blood to get the kind of the same benefits. So, mm,
Wait, did you say that was your character or someone else's?
mine.
Okay, then I'd be correct in saying it's like me too. In Busky's first campaign, I think you remember me. Well, us talking about that when on death's door, and I just downed a potion of symbiote pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah, they came back
I,
alive when they were buried, so they got to meet the second character that replaced him too. Right,
wait, they
exactly,
came back
Lenny. How
to
can you
life?
trust it not to eat you?
How can you? It's just so easy. You just have to either be very unappetizing or feed it constantly.
So you need to be smelly and never shower, or just move in such ways that these spikes and teeth just bleed you dry.
It's just- oh, I mean, I like the concept, but
Yeah,
anyone with a smidgen of common sense would see that this is a bad idea. The the the
just
mimic
horrible.
glue was at least, the mimic glue was at least practical, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This just ah,
Very little rationalizing to be had. It's
yeah,
got an eye over the chest and a knee. One of the pauldrons opens up to another mouth. That's ignoring the sash mouth here. It's like just there are less painful ways to kill yourself, really.
there are smarter ways to kill yourself.
Yeah, perhaps moving on to a slightly less cursed armor, at least in appearance. There's the Mortal Hold, which,
Ooh,
I mean, this, first off, just beautiful artwork.
ooh.
And going off the description here, Abyssal Brews is actually pretty good about referencing if they got anywhere, so I think they actually made this artwork. It's good on them. But we got a legendary item, which is the highest ranked of any of the streams so far.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's see. This armor was obviously crafted by someone with an affinity for the undead. No. What? You gain a +3 bonus to AC. Jeez, wait, what kind of armor? Studded leather. Okay, so
It's not great
it's a
armor to start,
50,
yeah.
no, 15 plus debt. Okay, first off, this is meant for a rogue.
Yeah.
This is either meant for a rogue or a really emo bard.
Or, for the people who don't power build, maybe a sorcerer or someone who wasted a feat on just getting, you know, uh, light armor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh,
Let's
we
see.
don't talk about warlocks. They've already got all kinds of kinks with their patrons.
Yeah, jeez.
Necromancy is the least that could happen to them.
Warlocks. Oh wait, you need to be a spellcaster. Okay, so it has to be what's it called? Uh, God, my brain is mush. The semi wizard rogue was it called?
Oh,
Arcane trickster.
yeah, Arcane Trickster.
Yeah, so it has to be arcane trickster rogue or bards. That's the one I can see. Or like you said, those who wasted their feet for light armor. Warlocks. You know what? I'm just gonna say it outright. I don't care if I make enemies. Fuck warlocks.
Some people are trying. I mean, what?
All right, let's see. You're immune to poison condition and poison damage. That's already pretty good on its own. Uh, let you gain a legendary resistance.
Yeah. Like, if it was not for the spellcaster limitation, this would be great for anyone, just for that.
Uh, when you roll damage for any spell you cast, you can add an amount of necrotic damage equal to half your current hit point. Oh, oh,
Yeah, that's probably another reason that spellcaster only. It's a lot harder to get a lot of health.
okay. When you cast a spell, you can choose to expend hit points instead of a spell slot. What? When you do so, roll number of d4s equal to the spell's level. Lower your maximum hit points by an amount equal to the roll. Lost maximum hit points are recovered after a long rest. If the effect would lower your hit points to 0, the spell fails to. Okay, so it doesn't just kill you if you're not paying attention.
Right.
Wait, hold up, wait. So, if you are a full spellcaster, this means you can cast multiple ninth level spells a day if you got the hit points for it.
Yeah, that'd be the one thing that there maybe should be a limit, legendary or not. Maybe like 6 level is the highest.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a I love I love high level shit. That's a bit much.
Hey, welcome to the chat. Love Murder Rose. Love the alternative to Live, Laugh, Love. Thank you. But yeah, 94 Wishful spell just to get all the HP back. Another good reason to have a level limit on this item.
Yeah. Oh no, my maximum hit points went down 36. I gained the power to reshape reality. Okay. What's the curse? Armor's curse becoming attuned to it extends the curse to you. While cursed, you have disadvantage on death saving throws. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, anything to do with death saving throws are not their biggest concern because most people don't want to get to that point in the first place.
All you have to do is a nice escape plan if you're about to die. Maybe some
If
contingency.
if you die while attuned to this armor, you cannot be resurrected by any means other than a wish spell. Additionally, you arise as a zombie 1 to 4 hours after death. That
I mean, that's practically just flavor thing at that point. It's a legendary item.
by the time you find this, unless you have the luck of the gods, you're probably gonna have wish or have people around you who can cast wish either. Or, if you're a wizard, make spell scrolls of wish, which
Oh, gloves that increase critical range by 1 for every 2 unarmed. That's. No. So that's pretty much just a monk item, right? It's like a monk, maybe a dip to fighter for action surge.
when combat. So no, you could just if it goes on long enough, you just crit on every attack. No,
Yeah, it's like that reset should be like once around. Like maybe until the beginning of your next turn, just so you can get on an opportunity attack, maybe, but still.
just jeez, like look, I'm the type of player that loves whenever I can do overpowered bullshit because it feels cool, right? I like seeing the big numbers. I like feeling all powerful. Having everything be trivial is not fun. That
Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to trivialize your game because by that point you could might as well just say I win and end the fight.
Yeah, that's why Wish is a 9th level spell, and the Ring of 3 Wishes is not very common. It's like, I wish the
Right?
BBG was dead. It's like, well, there goes the rest of the campaign. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, that's why you put a limit on wish or just be clever about it or otherwise I don't get a lot of chances to cast wish, I'm gonna be honest. And in said overpowered campaign I'm currently in, my plans for Wish were immediately turned to dust when I learned last session that if anyone ever casts Wish while the BBEG is still alive, the BBEG can uh, twist that wish into their favor.
That is an interesting idea, though. Definitely not fun for a campaign, but for like a one shot, that's an interesting take.
Yeah, it's also complicated by the fact that BBG is a threat to all of reality, but is also on friendly terms with us.
I mean, that's really just them, like, just trying to show you up. It's like a Lucy in Campaign 1. It's like, yes, literally the fallen angel, the Morningstar. But you guys are not going after him, so he can be friendly old grandpa for a bit. But watch
Uh,
out.
but the thing is, we are going after him, but he's actively been helping us get out of life or death situations. So it's complicated, especially since my character hates everything about him, while this other character is completely devoted to their cause, which mm,
Yeah, that might be a bit much.
yeah.
Uh, Not railroading, but too much DM assistance. Thank
Oh,
you, everyone, for the love. I'm sure you'll still be
Lucy.
throwing shit at me as soon as I have that set up.
Oh, like
Oh, I'm gonna do
one of
that.
the reward.
That is horrendously fun to just do with people, especially if you're on good terms with them. It's like I love you, but also boot to the head. you know?
Well, what's it gonna be? Pie, like just holy water,
Nah,
cross.
nah. I haven't seen any good programs that let you get a splash effect on a thrown item. But definitely dice. They're definitely gonna be just throw dice at my head for sure.
Just
Maybe a book.
fuck you and your rolls. You get too many 20s.
Uh, Also, Love Murder Rose said, I honestly don't know much about balance. Only made first homebrew or anything like last week. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't have an example of my homebrew in this. I usually do for these streams, but I didn't have anything very Halloween themed. But a lot of my stuff is just reflavored existing spells or mechanics, so I don't have to do too much balancing after the fact.
Mm. Yeah, I am not a creator of any sort. I don't DM, I don't make homebrew magic items, but I whenever I think of balance, I tend to think of it in two ways. One, does it feel a bit much? That's just the baseline. If you think it's a bit much, it might be a bit much. Secondly, if you can't think of at least five scenarios in which, this spell might have downsides, or if it's a, let's for example, if, it's a monster you're making, right? And if you can't think of way, if you can only think of one specific way your party might be able to handle it, it might be a bit too much. Yeah,
I mean,
balance means there's a chance of victory even if you're not tuned towards the thing.
yeah, the only counterpart point for there being only one like successful strategy is for a one shot, because that's like so self-contained. If you have to, you can force the players to discover that fact. Because it's a one shot, it needs to be accessible and easily done. You can't just hide it in a library somewhere they're never going to look. Go, well, you guys didn't find it, so you're shit out of luck.
Or, unless the theme is very on the nose and everyone should know from the beginning, a la Barovia, the vampire module. Play a cleric. or a paladin.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you're not thinking like a player and about to get utterly blindsided by an uncommon magic item you forgot about 4 sessions ago. There's that too. That is one way I do like to DM though. It's just like, I'm gonna give you so much stuff. The problem is not that you're gonna be overpowered. The problem is you're gonna forget some of the items I give you. It's I don't think that happened too much in campaign 1, right? Like you usually just sold items you knew you were never gonna use, but
No, either that or Derek kept extensive track of what everyone had available at all times because it's Derek.
I mean, I did
I'll
like
be honest.
Andrea's
I might have,
guns.
oh yeah, no, Andrea's gun. No one can forget that. Both of her guns, but I mean, she earned it. Well, did she earn it? Oh yeah, okay, no,
She had to
she.
beat a DC 30 something. I can't remember, but she knocked it out of the park with almost 40. I can't remember exact numbers, but I do know I was just blown away. It's like the first take was supposed to fail, but you get research points. But no, you guys did it. I ain't even mad.
uh, I love that most legendary or artifact items have some sort of grand history to their design or to their conception too. Well, if anyone ever looks into that gun, it's like this was made in a garage by an artificer and a hobo wizard. That's it. I don't think there was a particular reason we needed to make it besides we just thought it was cool either.
I mean, but those are the best items. It's like, is this going to make us super powerful? No. But we can do it for the bit. And it's like, hell yeah, I'm all for the bit. Also, DN gave you the item so your Echo has the same AC as you if you have better AC. That's actually not too bad. Because you can still take out that Echo with area of effect spells. Just anything where it's half damage on a successful save does not matter, because Echo Knights only have 1 health.
Yes,
Well,
any AoE or magic missile and you're good. Honestly, magic missile would do it. Just Echo Knight by a lot.
actually, that reminds me. Lonnie did kind of mention it having all those items that she never used. Do you remember the item I gave her that gave her an Echo Knight shadow? It never got a lot of use, but I was really proud of that just reference item I made.
I do not remember that at all. In a game like, oh right, with Minute. Oh, I miss Minute. I didn't get to play them long, but they had so much aggro.
I mean, a couple of AC 23 minions is all well and good, but it's not like they had full autonomy. Like, you still had to use some of your resources to get them to act. Which is why it's not too bad. Like, yeah, infinite bonus action to bring him back. But I mean, if you're up against, like, Spellcaster, that's nothing. It's like, I can take care of them and you guys, because they can't. I think it was 30-foot distance. They could get further from you than that. It's like,
Also, having a high AC feels nice and all, but you forget that your DMs control the enemies, and if they want to, they can just bump up the difficulty a little bit by giving them a bonus to hitting you, or just have stupidly high rolls. I should know. My sorcerer with an AC of 26 as a baseline gets hit a lot.
yeah. Or Busky's Artificer, which I think with the War Wizard he uses AC 22 if he uses his War Magic feature, I think. It's like, high AC is great early game when there's not going to be a whole lot of spellcasters. There might be a few traps to worry about, but that's it. It's like
yeah, just
at high levels, AC just isn't as important, really.
also ACs are good if you are getting hit a lot. You could always not aim at the very obvious tank.
Right. Oh,
Oh yeah,
but no, tanking is also needs more than just high AC. You need a way to force them to think you're a threat. Like Muskie's found out in his campaign. I have one level dip in Blood Hunter, so I can give disadvantage to a Wisdom save, and I have Compelled Duel, which is a Wisdom save. It's like nah. Focus on me, fucker. It's like
I don't understand why you aim for me, of all people, who has the threat.
You are a Dragonborn who has antlers that look like cherry blossom trees. Of anyone in the party, you are the most obvious spellcaster. Let's be honest here.
Well, yeah, but spellcaster doesn't mean threat. I mean, I'm just a druid. Druids aren't.
The top two threats to any party, in any party of players, is a cleric for being able to heal everyone, and a spellcaster, because fireball go boom.
I am neither. Well, actually,
correct.
No, I am one different cleric, but that's not important.
Yeah, but you're correct. You are neither. But you look like one of the two. And any smart enemy is going to know you don't let an enemy you're trying to kill keep them. Yeah, exactly. Spellcasters go first. Or as it is in the Shadowrun, Geek the Nerd, I think.
Everyone in the party is a spellcaster, no?
Yeah, which is why you go for the most flamboyant one. That means they have the money to burn. Or at least the connections, Mr. Archfey God connected.
Hey, I'm not the one who made my mentor / father figure another god / powerful person.
Oh, no, of course not. I was referring more to you have the faction of gentry. It's like you can just go into a mushroom circle in any random forest and buy some healing potions.
And?
Oh, maximum number of melee attacks in one turn is 22. Is that with magic items or without? So that's the big difference for if something's impressive or not.
I imagine with Action Surge, you're cutting that by maybe around half, so...
I would say that is impressive, except for the magic item. The impressive builds are the ones where it does not matter if your DM gives you a thing, you can still do it. It's like, no, like, not to, like, hate on your math there. I just DM'd a lot, and it's like, if I had the choice to just not give you a thing that makes you broken, why do I give you the thing that breaks everything, you know? So as opposed to these guys, I'm sure they can attest, I solved that problem by making everyone a little bit broken.
Well, your definition of broken. The bar for me is completely destroyed with what I think broken is. But yeah.
I mean, with Derek and Campaign 1 and all those wishes, it's like...
I didn't get to use any of them for the campaign. That was all post-campaign stuff.
No, all the lead up to the final battle, upping stats and that wish usage.
No, that wasn't for the final. That was after the final battle. I didn't get to use wish at all for the campaign.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. You guys did avoid fighting the Archdevil.
Yeah, because somebody likes making deals no matter what their character is.
Yeah, admittedly, I did make him seem a bit too much of a threat for you guys to go, you know what, let's take the deal.
And I was just there desperately wanting to blow off steam.
I mean, hey, in the future, we still have that Jublex one-shot fight.
She had a family at that. Oh, boo hoo. Most people have Okay, I'm not gonna say it. Oh, that's a bit too insensitive, but. Eh.
I mean, you're not
Look,
like mocking people without a family, at least.
no. Look, Beck, I love you. You're great. You're wonderful. Stop making rational choices and just let me go ape shit every now and then, okay?
Derek is tired of being nice. He's already not allowed to become a deity because all his other timeline selves die and that stuff. You know what? Making some just big brain plays there, Murder Rose. No, I think we got off track just a little bit.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Right.
Legendary
armor.
item. It's pretty
right.
good. The From Life Power spell thing needs a little bit of a nerf. Just so you're not 9th level up casting stuff. But yeah, it's a cool item. Very nice aesthetic.
Yeah, I'd say the curse needs a bit of work if you actually wanted to have downsides, because otherwise this is something anyone would take, no questions asked.
Look. That was campaign 1 me. Okay? The taking your brother's arm was for the bit. The dad death was accidental. That was just a random roll. It's like, how many people died? Oh, all of them. All of that squad died. Ugh.
I offered to resurrect them, but no, you moved on and grieved. Plebeians.
In their defense, you did not have true resurrection yet.
No, but I did at that point. Like, honestly, in a very short amount of time, I did. They still didn't take up the offer.
Yeah, it's a downside of having a holy order who is very tied to their particular goddess.
Yeah,
But,
no longer exists.
But speaking of just strange ties to things, how about this segue into the giant shipwreck golem?
Yeah, the hanging. I'm not gonna like the hanging bloated blue bodies is particularly upsetting to me because it reminds me way too much of Okay, does the name Junji Ito mean anything to you?
Oh, the horror manga artist, yeah.
Yeah, it just it upsets me.
I mean, his Spiral series is pretty good, though. Yeah, I agree. The blue bodies, I mean, honestly, the way it's tilted here, I feel like they should be falling out the back. So the defying gravity kind of bugs me.
Also, the way that the golem is, I don't know what it is. It just me, or does it look like it's sashaying or like tilting its hip on one side?
You know, kinda. Yeah, it's lopsided, asymmetrical. I mean, it could have been worse. This one with a larger prow could have been here at the groin, which would have been a very different vibe.
I mean, it looks beautiful, but still,
Yeah.
it's also really upsetting.
Yeah, it's weird, but not like a creepy way. Yeah, no problem. See you later at the. Well, see you at the game tomorrow, Lonnie.
Yeah, Larry.
But yeah,
Alright,
let's go to the actual stats.
Shipwreck. Well, AC 19. Right? Hard to hit. It's a full on ship. Huge.
Not great stats considering like all that health, but you know, it's still a threat.
Yeah, I'd argue gargantuan just because it's a ship, but yeah, you do you. Alright. Strength and con, extremely high, fair enough. Very poor mental stats, all things considered. Skilled in perception, that's a choice. Resistance to necrotic and psychic. Immune to poison and non-magical physical damage. Immune to blind and charm, frightened, petrified, poisoned.
Well, that's why I can afford not having the mental stats. I mean, you can't charm it, you can't scare it.
Yeah, fair enough. Blind sight up to 60 feet.
So that's good.
Knows the language of its creators. Challenge rating 15, not that it means much. Alright. Whenever the golem takes 25 or more damage from the same attack, 1d8 zombies or 1d2 ogre zombies break from its body and fall on a space within 10 feet. They remain for an hour until the golem dies or until they're destroyed. Oof.
I think that's a
Oof.
little weird just because Golem construct, it's like why are undead involved in it? Especially because it says
Yeah.
The languages of its creator, implying that this thing was like made.
Made? Yeah, like it I think it's playing off the idea of, oh, this is a living haunted ship with all of its dead uh, sailors still stuck inside of it, but
Yeah. It's maybe a bit too much, at least on the mechanic side. Could have picked maybe undead just for that bit of flavor. I mean, CR15, no one is turn undeading that into destruction.
no. Let's see. Dread ship. The golem can use its action to convert into a huge ship or back into its true form. Statistics and size are the same in each form. Any equipment it is wearing or carrying isn't transformed, but okay, what kind of ship would have equipment that it wears?
Also, yeah, you were totally right. It should be gargantuan. 15-foot square boat is not that big. Like, there are there are longboats that are that size. There are pontoons that are 20, 25 feet long.
Yeah, that looks like a galleon at least, which are pretty big.
But yeah, the transforming thing is cool. Definitely needs some better wording. Maybe just saying it can't equip anything, because that's... It's weird to imagine this thing having just a big-ass dress or something.
Yeah, I think I feel like it's copied over from Wild Shape, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. Alright. Fly the flag of death. Undead creatures within 100 feet of the golem have advantage on saving throws against any effect that turns undead. Okay, yeah, again, this connection with undeath, which, fair enough, is a choice. I feel like this might be fixed if you just don't have the understanded language of its creator, which implies it was made instead of just, you know,
Yeah, it's mixing two different
yeah,
origins, kinda.
yeah. Alright, let's see. Immutable form can't be alter its form, so no polymorphing step to a goldfish. Alright?
Which I think most, like, high CR things need. At least boss level things. You don't want a true polymorph to just take it out forever.
Yeah. Magic resistance. Advantage on spells against other magical effects. Yeah, fair enough. Most things have magical resistance when they're high level anyway. Magical attacks. Necrotic chains. Whenever a creature within 30 feet takes necrotic damage, its walking speed is reduced by 10 feet.
That does need the limitation of just till the beginning of its next turn, though.
Yeah, so
that implies
not permanent.
Yeah. But otherwise, good feature.
Alright, Siege Monster makes sense. Look at the damn thing. And 1,000 grasps. Whenever a creature hits the golem with a melee attack, they have to make a DC 20 dex save, or else it is grabbed. I don't see the logic.
I think that'd make more sense if his next necrotic chains kind of ties into the whole, like, ghostly chains holding you back. I can see that flavor, but also, again, that's going further and further from the golem feature being a construct. It's like, go full undead. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Actions. Multi-attack. This makes 3 melee attacks or 2 cannon attacks. You can replace one of those attacks with Cone of Flames. Right. Anchor. Ship form only. Okay, you just swing an anchor. So 4d12 plus 7 bludgeoning, 4d12 necrotic. Oof.
She's
Targets
averaging a
hold.
total of 59. That's a lot.
That's okay. That's not part of multi-attack. So it's just if it
Nope,
does
it
that,
is.
that's all.
Because it says 3 melee attacks, not 3 slam. Both of those are melee.
Oh no.
So yeah, I would definitely say 3 slams. Which still,
Okay.
that's a 99 average, but it's a lot better than non-magical and necrotic.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Cannon ranged 60, 320, one target, 3d10 plus 7. Not the cannon hits less than the slam. Okay.
I think that might need to be a swap in damage, because you're only getting 2 of those cannon attacks, and they have the same to hit rate. The range is cool and all, but it's like, really? It's like, as soon as everyone gets in melee, they're going to be taking a bigger pounding than at range. That seems like incentive to just stay at range, which isn't
Yeah.
where a lot of the build is from. It's got 100 range for turn undead resistance.
Okay. Cone of Flames. Golem releases fire within a 10-foot cone. That's a small area. Okay, so right next to it. Each creature in that area must make a DC 20 dex save or take 6d6 fire damage. That's more incentive to be ranged.
Yeah.
Okay. Cannon barrage recharge. Ship form only makes 4 cannon attacks. Oof. At depths of death, recharge. Golem form only. It throws anchors of necrotic energy at each creature of its choice within 30 feet. They have to make a DC 20 dex save or take 8d8 necrotic damage and are pulled up to 25 feet towards. Yeah, all of these are pulled towards it, so you want to stay away from this thing.
With all the features that are just punishing you for melee, this entire thing is just incentivizing you to just keep distance for everything. But yeah, your melee fighters will not be able to do much, but being able to change forms also implies you're probably facing it in the sea anyway. And why would you want to let it get close to your ship to destroy it, which is another point against melee? You alright over there, Cluedo?
Yeah, sorry, sinuses are just really clogging up.
Oh, I thought someone was talking. I'm like, oh, no.
No. Ugh. I will say that the low mental stats means it is very much, you know,
Susceptible.
at the mercy, yeah, to a lot of just debuff spells, which is nice. I can already think of one that could very much just incapacitate this thing. Well,
Blindness,
Tasha's
deafness. Oh, that too.
blindness, deafness, hideous laughter, which technically could work because its intelligence is high enough.
Oh.
Or honestly, just what's it called? Tasha's mind whip, yeah, because you only get an action, a movement, or a bonus action, and well,
If it keeps choosing action to attack, that means it can't move closer.
which means you can get the fuck away from it, yeah. Or, oh, actually, you know what? Oh wait, no, this one might. I might have thought of a way to just completely cheese this thing.
Considering it has 200 health points, it's not a good thing to hear. As great as you are at cheesing things, like, it's never something you want someone to say about your creation.
It's very niche, I'll say, but Nick, you remember that feather token from campaign 1?
Oh. that you guys used on the train to save yourself from a delayed
Yeah,
fireball.
and it specifically says ship or other vessel. It doesn't say creature type.
Yep.
So,
If you catch it in ship form,
you just stick it on there, teleport away, and just bombard it with spells.
I will say Monkey Dam has a great idea. It just feels like too much, high CR or not.
Yeah, this is a bit. This isn't something a party of 4 to 6 fights. This is something like maybe a full what you call not army, fleet. This is something a fleet fights off.
Yeah. I think maybe dropping the undead stuff, like being able to create bloated bodies, means nothing in the middle of the ocean. And without them, you don't need this advantage against certain undead. I like necrotic chains. That works really well, especially with the like anchor themed, but 1,000 crafts could probably be dropped and it'd be a lot more solid. Because that means it's still being able to do a lot to you when you're at a distance, but there's also more incentive, or rather less disincentive, to get up in melee if you want the fighter to take some heavy blows against it.
I will say the siege monster thing makes me think that this is supposed to be something that
Shipwrecks
wrecks
things.
coast. Yeah, like
Yeah.
coastlines. It's supposed to attack fortresses at the sea or something like that. Like right at the edge where the coast meets the land.
Yeah, that builds into the flavor of like why the party's going to even find out or give a shit about them. Let's see. I guess
Yeah,
on top of that, maybe some like faster swim speed, because I'm pretty sure like ships can go faster than 50 feet and around, most of them.
And the fly spell means you go faster than this.
Yeah.
Overall, interesting idea. Very good. You might have overdid it with the damage just a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit crowded. But a very interesting idea and good choice of artwork.
Yeah. It's still upsetting.
Yeah, this came about as just like inspired by seeing this artwork. A pass on a good number of these critiques. But otherwise, yeah, it's very interesting. Probably a good 6 or 7 out of 10 because it does need some big changes to be actually fun to fight against.
If it's meant to be a fight for your life kind of thing, it is a good excuse to just reward your players with a shit ton of loot because it is a shipwreck.
Yeah. Hell, it is several shipwrecks. Like, this may be only one mast, but these look like multiple crossbars. And hell, 2 different bows right there.
Yeah. Like if your players don't get just several chests full of gold or magic items at that point, they are going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Experience or not.
At minimum, several very large diamonds for reviving spells. You know?
Which they're probably going to use right after.
Yeah, that is actually a perfect segue, though. The last 2 items, which are literally items. We'll start with this kind of fiendish one, Wanyudo's Burden. So before we go into the mechanics of this particular item, what does this make you think here, Cluedo? What do you think this item is based around?
Honestly, it's kind of giving me like Oni aesthetics.
Yeah, Oni, or at least like a trapped demon thing, because it's like, this does not look comfortable how it's connected to this inner pendant.
No, it looks angry. Like it looks like someone took uh, something very big and put it in something very small, and it doesn't like being there.
Oh, limitless cosmic power. Itty bitty living space. But yeah, I think you got it correct. If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, Loot Tavern did make an Oni-inspired item. So they call it a fiend or yokai soul. Old
Ah,
legends claim that these amulets are made to punish vile fiends whose souls are sealed within, forced to aid mortals to make up for past misdeeds. Of course, these tales are pure fiction. A demon couldn't possibly imprison in the necklace, right?
oh,
Uh,
buddy, you've never seen an iron
yeah,
flask,
it's like,
have you?
look at this thing. It's like, how could this be anything but a trapped demon? What creator in the world to make this ugly thing?
It, it looks like it's 1 second away from hurling insults at you.
It looks like if you were to stick your finger in its mouth, it would just reflexively chomp it off. Yeah, it has 3 charges, which can be used for Fire Drinker. As a reaction, you pretty much just reduce fire damage by 3d6 as this
Oh
thing
shit!
takes it up. Which then you can choose one of the following items: Consume to regain hit points equal to that half damage reduced. Oh, sorry, half the
Nice.
damage reduced. Exhale,
Okay.
which is demonic visage immediately spits out those flames at a creature of your choice within 10 feet. Target makes DC 15 Dex save, and then you just re-roll the 3d6, not equal to what you reduced before, or they take half on a success. Both a very good chain thing. But I picked this one because this final trait, Flaming Trail, after the necklace has drunk enough fire, it unlocks a powerful new ability. When you use up all 3 charges and are wearing it, you can cast Wall of Fire.
Oh shit!
DC 15, and casting like this, the amulet animates, detaches from the string, and spins across the battlefield to leave that trail of fire in its wake. Which is just, first off, incredibly cinematic description. Blue Tavern does that very well on some of their rarer items. Especially because it does not imply that it's gone forever. It does immediately come back and reattach. And while wearing the amulet, you also take no damage from Wall of Fire. So you can also just make an impenetrable barrier for everyone except yourself.
Oh shit! Once you use this property, it can't be used until the next stop.
Which isn't much of a
Oh
downside. You have no charges left at that point.
no! This is a last hurrah kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is it? It's not attunement, so you could just have this on hand. You can have multiple of these on hand.
Even better if you can only have one because they're just so rare and hard to make. Your your melee buddy up in the front line can just take all the fire, get ready for Flaming Trail, and you, the spellcaster, just zip on by, take it, and become immune to that fire as you wall of fire just everyone else.
This, I see no reason why anyone would not just have this on hand. I mean, the fact that it's made from a fiend implies that there might be some kind of downside, but no, the flavor of it is this is a punishment to the fiend, so it's just supposed to help you. Which, yeah, I don't see a downside to this.
But actually, let me look something up, because speaking of the downside reminds me of, what are they called? Soul tokens? Soul coins, that's it. Now, I think it might need, like, just for the flavor, the downside of those, maybe reversed, because you're supposed to be helping people. For carrying soul coins, an evil creature can carry as many as it wishes, up to its maximum weight allowance, of course, but a non-evil creature can only carry a number of soul coins equal to or less than their constitution modifier. If you carry more, you have disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. I think a version of that for like any evil line creature carrying it, because this whole amulet is a punishment, a curse for the fiend inside, would be some nice flavor to it. It changes nothing.
Oh, so the armies of hell can't just use this against us.
Exactly. In
Hmm.
fact, it implies that
Alright.
coming across a fiend trapped like this, they might actually break them free, if only for the favor owed by doing so.
Okay. So it's, huh. So yeah, this sort of the fiendish version of a genie trapped in a bottle.
Right, exactly. That's only
Pretty.
one of the loot tavern items I have. The other one is definitely a lot more fitting for Halloween.
Oh,
The backbones.
the
Yeah. So I'll once again put the question to you, Cluedo. What sort of item do you think this is?
Well, it's a coffin with a skeleton smiling inside, but I see straps. Wait,
Yep, it's got some straps there.
back, but is this a backpack?
It is a backpack. And going off the size of those straps, this is something where your head will not go over the top. And it's going like almost the back of your knees, maybe? It's a big boy.
Is this a full size coffin you're just carrying around on your back?
Yep.
Do you have the strength to carry some? It's made of stone, I assume, with a skeleton inside.
Potentially. Let's see if there's a weight restriction on this sucker. Component for this one being an undead but undying heart. Each time the skeleton on your back comes to life, you can't help but think that will be you one day. No more than a useless pile of bones and meat, rotting away in a wooden prison underneath the earth. Deprived of everyone you once held dear, your only company the fat maggots eating away at the remains of your flesh. Try not to dwell on it too much.
Ah, yes, the thoughts of a pessimistic atheist sounds like
But yeah,
most settings have hard lives.
as you notice, this is an item that is worn as a backpack, and you can store your belongings in addition to the skeleton within. While wearing it,
It's like,
go ahead.
I was just imagine it's like, excuse me, Fred, move aside. I'm gonna put away this bag of holding in here.
I mean, it works. Technically, it is not an extra-dimensional coffin. But yeah, you can speak a command word and cause that skeleton to animate and strike. And one of the ways described below. Unfortunately, you can't deal any damage to constructs and undead.
Alright. As a bonus action, you order a skeleton to strike one creature within 5 feet. Okay, it's a melee attack. So it's +7 to hit, 1d8 slashing, and 1d8 necrotic. Alright, that's pretty sizable for a bonus action. If it rolls a 20 or reduces a creature to 0 hit points, you are assailed by a painful realization of your own mortality, taking 3d6 psychic damage, and this option can't be used again until the next dawn. Oh, it's punishing you for killing someone, or for critting.
Overusing it, perhaps.
Huh. Reaper's Sweeper. Alright. As an action, you order the skeleton to make a wide sweep with its scythe, catching all creatures within 10 feet of you with its blade. Okay, so this is punishing anything that comes close to you. Each creature within range has to make a DC 15 save or take 3d8 slashing and 3d8 necrotic. The creature failed by this property rises as a skeleton under your control at the start of its next turn. Maintains initiative, friendly to you and companions, obeys verbal commands. After 1 minute, it crumbles to dust. Once it's been used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. Interesting that the bonus action has a downside if you overuse it, but the big you get a bunch of minions doesn't.
Well, that's because it's only once per day.
True enough.
Though
If it, I
I think maybe it should be only one of these two causes the 3d6 psych damage. Like maybe you can't kill a creature with it. That seems like a good thing to just not go after minions with your backbones. I think maybe just like the 20 just doesn't double the dice. This is already powerful enough. You can get, like you said, a swarm of undead if you position yourself right.
yeah, Reaper Sweeper seems like something you do for mobs. Skeleton Strike is if you're fighting a big boss and you just want to chip away at it.
Yeah. I think that
I mean,
downside is very nice instead of just a typical curse. It's like, yeah, you can put this down if you want to. But do you really want to give up that extra damage every turn?
it is pretty decent damage. It, I think this is meant for frontliners, fighters, paladins, what have you, right? Because yeah, no, 5 feet and then 10 feet within. Yeah, your everyday sorcerer isn't going to be lugging around an entire coffin on their back, which makes sense. I don't think they have the strength to do that.
No, definitely not.
There's an uncommon and rare variants too. Okay, so it's you have different quality skeletons, yes.
Yeah, I'm assuming maybe the uncommon doesn't have Reaper Sweeper. It's like that by itself seems a bit much for an uncommon item. Like
Yeah.
what is it? The Dragon Horde items from Fizzbands. I think it might scale like that. But you know, very tempting to support Loot Tavern just to see what the very rare version has.
Hint, hint. I, you know, I don't know why. I feel like there should be an effect for a more powerful version of this, where if you overdo it and die, you replace the skeleton that's inside.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just
I
me.
definitely can't see that for a campaign, but for one shot, that is perfect. Like I said, a whole bunch of the stuff for today is just perfect ideas for Halloween one shots. Something spooky, something creepy, something to give a little bit of tension for players that have it too good, perhaps.
Players having it too good, what? No, never. Players are all humble. They never let hubris get the better of them. Never.
Very fair. We are not the campaign group where someone has said, we're practically gods, and dives into the fucking ocean, into a cliff face.
For no reason other than the fact that they can do it, which
Don't worry, I'll survive this, guys. Turned into a 1 HP goldfish. Uh, yeah, we're not that bad, but, you know, I give you guys some cool moments, some very cinematic times.
really,
I mean, I try to.
yeah, not fair enough. I guess we did convince that Triant to betray some Lucretia, which hold on,
I mean, is it really betrayal when the person in question, like, mind controls you for who knows how long?
well, okay, not betray, but
Yeah,
like
at that point,
yeah,
it's like straight up revenge. It's like, I'll help you kill this bitch. Hell, if you leave, I'll do it myself.
I like, I love the fact that even though we knew Lucretia not as long as her sister, we hate her infinitely more.
Oh, yeah. Interrupting Venus's date night to call her in as a lawyer for a contract with the Rakshasa. Yeah. That's another good cinematic moment, if less immediately perilous than fighting fucking giant forgotten wolf gods.
I mean, I will always think that the most cinematic moment is where I had to counterspell my pigeon from casting Time Stop.
That was a very special sentient magic item for me. So
I know, but it was a very serious moment. But
I mean,
the
it
image
paid
of
off. It paid off because that could have been you. You could have gone, oh, I don't need my familiar to cast Identify. A lot harder to have forcibly unattuned you from that item that automatically attunes as part of that curse.
See, if anyone's listening, this is why you played a paranoid character. You come up with contingencies for every possible situation.
I don't. Did Bob become a wanted terrorist? I thought I remember something like that.
Oh wait, no. Okay,
Is it because he always said things that came off like he would totally like genocide a fool if he had to?
Yes, the celestial vision was down to murder. Wait, no, I think it was. Remember, I was just Derek was testing out teleportation circles they found online to just a bunch of random places that they could get their hands on.
Right.
And one of them was like a human trafficking ring in New York, which they escaped from and let Bob loose with dragon breath to just dismantle the whole operation.
Ooh. Yeah, and then when you guys did have to go to New York to investigate, good old Pigeon Bob, totally not a familiar, no, was being observed while he was trying to do some scouting for you.
Because I know, but the city might have a little bit of paranoia when it comes to pigeons after that incident.
Not enough for mass culling.
Not enough, but enough to like, is this little bird gonna breathe fire on me?
Just old men in the park. It's like, maybe you should take a note out of my book and feed the pigeon, just scattering bird seed.
I miss Bob. I miss him so much. Like, drumsticks great and all, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, he's not knockoff Bob, but he definitely feels like Goodwill Bob, you know? Like, maybe he was great one day, but right now he does not shape up to the pigeon that is like, hey, in the afterlife, why don't you come to the sphere of heaven that I serve?
Yeah, like, what other wizard can say that their own familiar will
Vouch for them.
Vouch for them in the afterlife?
Honestly, how many wizards can say anyone will give them a reference for the afterlife?
Not a lot. Knowing wizards. I do wonder, does Bob stick around with Derek after the whole timeline culling thing?
Oh, for sure. No matter how many timelines there are, there is only one Bob. That is how the connections to afterlives work, sadly. The upside is there aren't a bunch of Bobs out there that had to outlive their wizard.
Probably for the best. But it's nice to know that even though Derek lives past all of his friends and family, he still has his pigeon to keep him company. Completely healthy. Like, no issues with that.
And when the time comes for Thanatos to collect, it's like, no, sir, I've got this one. And you two just fly off to the Lugentus Rings.
The best boy. Just the best boy.
Which, hey, I mean, you guys play your cards right in Campaign 3, the space campaign. Maybe you guys stop on by.
Let's stop on by before that version of Derek gets erased.
Yeah. mean, after
I hope you
if
know.
you're, oh, go ahead.
I really hope you don't turn Derek into like the the evil in one of the campaigns.
Nah.
Big big player, definitely in the going ons of the universe, but not like I don't think they fall to the point where you just kill for the sake of killing.
I could see like a villain, or at least an aspiring villain, using his spell book. Because holy shit, the only wizards who probably have more spells than Derek is the fucking Brain Trust. That's because their goal is to have every spell they can get.
Derek doesn't have that many spells. Last I counted, he only had like 100.
Only 100. It's not that much.
But I gave that spell book to Lucy, so whoever villain ends up with it, that's entirely on him.
That is fair. But that is actually the 2-hour mark.
Oh shit.
Covered all the Halloween themed items I brought for this month. Well, technically next month, but this is the easiest day to get you, and I'm trying to get each of you players a chance to go host before I go into the other streamer friends I've had. It's like it's only fair. I've known you guys longer.
Yeah, no worries. They're probably more interesting with, your animated models and your actual tokens on the screen. Not having suffered through a cold through half of this. Well, all of this.
Well, you did well, and I said that we had I mean, there's probably an opportunity because most colleges or these schools have winter breaks for those who observe that holiday.
Oh yeah, no, I fully graduated this year, so I honestly I don't have anything coming up besides maybe going home for a month and then looking for a job after that.
Yeah, fair. So then all the exams are done. All that schoolwork was just wrapping it up.
It's wrapping it up so far. I still got. I don't want to think about it. I'm too sick to think about it.
Fair enough. Well, then on that point, thank you for joining me on co-hosting this spooky stream. Go ahead and keep it here so I'm not just the only person audible to the audience, and look for someone to raid. With all the stream friends I've found, I'm sure there's at least someone who's doing something today.
No worries, no worries. Glad to be here. Happy to shit talk about other people or anything D&D related again with you if you want. Or just gush about my characters because you know what I'm about.
Always. And let's see, problem solution. You said you wouldn't be able to attend our sessions for most of October, right? Like you're pretty much here the first week and then busy with work stuff. I think it's you that said that. I mean, that definitely means you can't be the October guest, I suppose. Yeah, we'll see if I am comfortable trying to do the Halloween one-shot live. It's a whole lot more stress doing it live with, 3 players to just make fun of me if I screw something up. Now I gotta bring the whole internet in to do that too.
Oh, no worries. We'll be the next Critical Role if we start a whole company, fundraise millions of dollars for an animated series. Which I still haven't watched fully, I admit.
I mean, there are plenty of highlight videos by now.
Oh yeah, no, I know the gist of it. I've seen the moments that matter. It's just I cannot for the life of me be fucked to watch episodes back to back.
Yeah, it was pretty rough when I was trying to catch up at the season 1 before season 2 came out. very long episodes. But you know what? This, yeah, why not Howie? He's playing Liza P. That, came out pretty recently. That
The
seems...
Pinocchio game?
Yeah. It's also in theme with the Halloween just a little bit. You know, Howie's fun. Let's see, they're they, them. Apologies in... Not in advance, in retrospect if I accidentally went to he, him. They have a masculine voice, and I'm trying to not mix that up so badly.
Yeah, no, understandable. I just default to they, them for most people just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I did that too, but I have a friend who is trans male. And I did they, them around their family, so I didn't out them, but now that they're out, I'm just like overcorrecting with every they, them. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us this week of Homebrew Review. Maybe next time I'll have a proper logo made up for the bootleg identify scroll. It's working on it, but it's just it's not quite there. But till next time, sleep well, have a good night, eat up if you haven't, and well, see you Saturday.
See ya, people. Bye.